Coming up next on Access LaPorte County, the April 6, 2022 meeting of the Long Beach Budget and Finance Committee. You can find more information for this organization at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Hope everybody brought their glasses.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it up on the screen there.
That's worse.
Just quickly go through. Good morning, everyone. The financials here, and we're going to work on, and I apologize, that because there's so many funds, it's hard to condense it all on one page. So we're thinking we're going to try and break it into 2 pages so we can at least see it. I know that the original goal was to keep it all on one page, but it's just not possible. Now, if you have it up on your computer, you can always, and John was going to increase the zoom. So what we're looking at here, this first page is the statement of revenues and expenditures for the first quarter, the 3 months ended March 31. And the far left column is the general fund. We had total receipts of $159,776. Our expenditures, total disbursements were $313,143. So we're dipping into our cash flow of $153,368. Now, I'll just point out, so we don't get alarmed, that this does not include property taxes. We always spend more the first 6 months because we only get our property tax distributions in June and December. So at least this is trying to at least show you what the actuals are. Our beginning cash balance was $518,097, so now general fund's down to $364,729. The other funds, I don't know that there's a whole lot to highlight here. That does include the other funds, including the ARP fund, which I know is on the agenda later today, is $114,722. Community crossings, I know we had expenditures in excess of receipts, and there was just some timing there till that all gets worked out. So before going to the next page, I'll just ask if there's any questions that you may have.
So if I look all the way at the bottom right corner, down at the bottom, then you've got the beginning balance of 2.7, and then we've eaten into that because we don't have property tax yet to the tune of about 6 something, so we've still got 2.1 in the bank.
Right. Now, part of that is the disbursements out of the general obligation bond funds. Part of that is probably the bond payment that was made in January, and then there may have been some other expenditures as well. We'll try and break that out in the next report so that you see what the actual principal payment was, principal and interest payment was versus capital expenditures. So a couple of cleanup things we're still working on. And I know these are all subject to doing the bank reconciliations for March as well. So there may be some minor changes, but we wanted, since we were meeting today, get some numbers in front of you, so the Budget Finance Committee can feel good that yes, we still have cash in the bank and we're still able to operate. So
that biggest amount is that gold line, but you said they may include some other.
that includes the principal and interest. Remember we're doing a 5-year repayment on that, so that's $1 million is going to be amortized pretty quickly. Okay, the second page is then the combined showing the actual town funds for the first quarter is the first column, or column C, and then the combined budget then is all towns' budgets for 2022. I suppose we could have also, maybe next time we'll give a difference column so you can see what is the difference, your actual expenditures to budget. I think as talking to Trista briefly, the expenses that seem a little bit high right now are maybe the town's insurance, but we may need to ask Tim and Helen to do a little bit more analysis to see if this is just, some upfront payments or timing of these payments. But I think everything else, maybe some other services and charges are a little bit higher right now. But we will also send, I think Krista had updated kind of the cash projections based on first quarter as well. I think that's something maybe the committee would like to see, just saying, based on our trends of revenue and expenses, how do we project the rest of the year to be? So. And then the third page is just,
I'm sorry. Is there a way of getting a breakout of the capital outlays?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Breakout of the capital outlays?
We could, yeah, we could get a little more detail. How much detail do you want?
Just, the point is the bigger numbers.
Yeah, okay. We just like, what are we spending the bigger capital just down there? We can do that.
Thank you.
And then the third page is just the combining budget of all the town funds. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that or any time unless you have questions, but this is what the council adopted for the budget for 2022. And it's the detail, it's really more detailed than the actual receipts and disbursements. And then the final page then would be for the water operating. We normally would also have another page that would show also the bond and interest fund, the debt service reserve, but I don't believe we have those bank statements yet, so this is the main one that you probably want to look at anyway. So actual through the middle column to the left is actual through March 31. Our total receipts were $215,240 compared to budget of $1,009,200, and the expenditures were, total disbursements were $206,668, and compared to budget for the year of $979. So we still had a net positive cash flow of $8,571, and so we have an ending operating of $1,160,578, again, subject to final review and making sure the bank accounts all reconcile and everything. So I think based on the first 3 months, I think it looks pretty good to me. Any questions that you may have on the water funds?
So this water fund will never show up on those prior sheets then because we're keeping it separate.
For now, yes, yeah, right. Yeah. It does on the civic sheet, there is that water fund on the, and that's the one account that we need to reconcile. The difference between what's in the bank versus civic, and so we need to spend a little time to get that caught up.
Thanks, Carol. Appreciate you coming out and running through that. Anybody have any questions? So I'd like to get Carol out here as quick as we can. So as you look down through that unfinished review of the new business, so maybe Tim, I'll defer to you if you have something to say about anything relative to what's in the rest of the agenda with Carol. So thank you.
No, I'll add that, regarding the ARPA funds, we understand we need to assemble a committee, and we'll need, town council approval for that committee on the others. I would propose everybody on the budget finance committee be on the ARPA committee. I'd like to have Chief Swistek, that's okay, for the committee, and that's for the resolution to approve that on. We spent some quality time with Krista, draft our response, which is due on April 30th, which we will. There's 4 different classifications that we can use in order to allocate and show how we'll allocate that money. And the most broad is lost revenue displacement, and that allows us to that allows us kind of a wide selection of different things we might spend our money on. So we probably will classify everything under that, and we'll discuss that with our committee before we draft a response. I think that's the major stuff for that fund. We did have a little bit of a accounting change, I guess. Helen was able to find something that was seemingly glaring, but I guess it's not a big deal. She talked with Kyle, I believe, and
Yeah, it's just a balance sheet entry for the principal amount of the bonds. And in prior years, it was always recorded as an expenditure, as an expense. And, you know, the principal amount, because we're kind of keeping more accrual-based books for the water utility. And I think going forward, we'll be sure to catch those payments and get those charged to the proper account. So it was just an accounting cleanup that doesn't affect the integrity of the books. It's good to have it done, so when the auditors come in, they'll have balances that reconcile. Tim, if I may, back on the ARP, just to, you know, the council should adopt a plan, I think was what Trista mentioned to you, for expenditure of the ARP money, and then there needs to be an appropriation. One thought, you know, some councils appropriate money only as they go, but it's simpler to say, all right, let's appropriate the whole amount of the town's portion, both last year's and what you're getting. You could, with the understanding that you're not going to spend it, you know, it's up to you, but if you're, you know, when you do an additional appropriation, the DLGF and State Board of Accounts are of the opinion that the ARP should be just like any other town additional appropriation, meaning you advertise, have a public hearing, and then the council votes. So you could either just do it all at once as revenue loss, or you could do it in chunks as you want to expend it. It just slows you down every time you have to do an additional appropriation.
okay. So would your recommendation be that we do it all at once?
Yeah, or at least if the committee comes back and says, hey, we think in 2022, we're going to spend X, you know, 50%. And if you're only going to spend 50% in 2022 of your total, then maybe you just appropriate that. And then if you know in 23, that could be part of the budget process this summer and fall to say, all right, here's what we want to do in 2023. Then you don't have to do an additional appropriation again.
We don't have to have that for the April 30th deadline.
No, yeah. April 30th is just reporting back to the feds of what we expended the money for last year.
So maybe we can just hang around this morning and make our plan real quick, so we can sign that money, right?
Yeah.
Or, you know, if you kind of, if it's going to be revenue loss category, you know, we could put together a very simple resolution for Monday, if you would like. That's up to Tim. Sorry.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay. All right.
Does anybody have any thoughts in opposition to using it for revenue?
That's great, though.
Deficit, I mean,
It gives you the most flexibility. You still, everybody can still decide how do you want to spend it, but it's in the revenue loss category because we're under that threshold amount of 10 million. The federal government said you can just call it all as revenue loss, and you don't have to put a lot of detailed timing to figure out what category you're going to spend it.
Great. Yeah, and then you guys will draft that resolution first.
Okay, and then you want to do the additional appropriation at a future date, or you want to wait till your committee says, all right, here's how much we want to spend this year? You want to just do it now?
Anything else, is it?
Yep, and we'll just do the whole thing for both last year's distribution and the money we get it's another 114,000. So we'll just do the whole thing, and then with the understanding that the committee is going to come back to the council with recommendations how to expend it. Perfect. Okay? So you won't be able to adopt, we'll probably have to still have two resolutions for ordinances. One to approve the plan, one for the additional appropriation. So you'll need to, at your next council meeting, we'll have the public hearing. Okay? Mm-hmm.
So do we need to vote with this committee to say, yes, that's what we want to do, or we don't have to wait? I mean, is anybody opposed to doing it this way? So I think, okay. quickly that anybody has, so we can get them out of here. You're pretty comfortable with the attention you're getting from senators, with Tristan and everything else? I mean, there's nothing we're doing. We kind of talked about a deep dive at the beginning of Tim's tenure, and I think that's occurring, and we're all happy with how that's working out.
Very helpful. We're trying to give as much support with the ultimate goal that it's going to be turned over eventually with just like oversight on our parts.
So Tristan spent some good time here, and they're always available for us with questions. She brought us some really good drawings last week, so.
So then the only other thing I can think of in terms of what's on the agenda is, your budget deadlines, and then, I don't know, maybe put audits on there, but are we okay on, so Tim, I know you're still getting your feet wet, but in terms of our dates when we have to be nervous about budgeting and all that, are we communicating about that yet, or we're kind of, that's simple down the
It's a
road?
little down the road, but, probably in July or June, July, you could start working on your budgets for the different town funds, and then we probably may want to sit down and say, all right, what's the timeline you'd like to, one, maybe have the council do the first review of the budget, when you want the public hearing, and adoption date, knowing that it has to be adopted by the end of October.
Great.
And just requires one public hearing, but the council and this committee, I'm sure, will have a lot of input on what you want in the budget or questions for the budget, and that's appropriate.
And we talked about it last night at a different meeting, but things like the general account where we have legal expenses that we have to pull out of 3 or 4 different accounts because we don't have enough in the general budgets line, the general accounts line item for legal. Can we make wholesale adjustments to the budget right away so it reflects better what's?
As long as, it's a balanced budget, because I think it was done that way in the past because there was never enough money in the general fund to cover maybe all those legal expenses.
So we can't arbitrarily increase the general fund in here,
Well, because the general fund's part of the max levy control of the town, whereas seeded, and, I guess rainy day are really separate outside of that. Seeded is funded, through the local option income taxes, and that you can't mix with the general fund. But you could, seeded basically you can spend for any purposes, and so I'm thinking in the past, previous councils or treasurers, put some of those large expenses into the seeded fund where we didn't really have room in the town general. But we could look and see is there more room that we could put some things in. But I suspect that, our budget's growing a little bit and we may not have as much room, flexibility, but we can look.
I mean, I think of things like the CCMG as well, we can't peg that number at the start of the year, and I know that can be separate as well, but sometimes when we look at these statements, it's a little tough to, we make an announcement every meeting about legal, it's not picking on legal expenses just because that's one that I know is pulled from Florida, place in Florida. But you can't really analyze it as far as where you're at year to date versus prior, because it's gonna, the expenses are sitting all over the place. So, and I'm not saying that maybe that's the only one we're doing that with, but it seemed to me that it'd be easy to understand if we were able to,
Now the CCMG, the town does have a 20% match, so we have to figure out what fund is that the general, is that seeded, is that a combination, or CCD for doing that local match.
I think in prior years that it was kind of an arbitrary thing where you yanked money out of it. I mean, I don't say we're wrong, but we just kind of scrambled and pulled it out when we could. Which is fine, I think, but for us to understand where we're at,
I think the budget may have some of those numbers in there already. We should probably double check maybe for your next meeting to say, all right, here for 22, here's what's been budgeted for the CCMG for the local match portion.
Okay. Just better, really surprised.
Right.
Okay. I don't have anything else for Carlos, anybody else?
Okay, so
One thing is to be a little more considerate of Carl's time. maybe next time we have Carl here, instead of having this week, put him on Zoom. Carl,
I'm fine with doing it, it's really your.
he wants to have to drive through the rain and drive for a ways.
Yeah, well, I'm coming from Valparaiso, so it's not super far, so whatever.
It's up to you guys. I'd be okay either way.
So as long as I wear my shirt on top, you can.
And then Marty says,
Everybody slippers and.
Okay.
Yeah, Lord knows that that's a Zoom out, it's started up there. Okay, thank you,
All
Carl.
right, very good.
Ms. Carl. We're not gonna spend much time on the sewer project, the bids are due on the 27th of April, we have a pretty good meeting next week, and I think that's all I'm on. We'll just do that on our, we just gonna beat that horse, just know where to go with that. CCMG for the current year, unless something changes, which we won't know, sometime in April, we should know that we got what we asked for, which is just 1.1.
The bids will be open as a public meeting, it's at 4:00 on 27th, Michigan City Sanitary District, so it is open to the public if anybody wants to come and see that. 4:00.
Take care. All right. Take care.
CCMG, again, we kind of know where we're at on that, and as well said, we'll probably put something in for 2023. I will, just a comment for everybody's benefit. If we get this 1.1 this year, that will pretty much wrap up all the storm work we intended to do, which is, I won't say it's half of this number, but it's a good chunk of it, somewhere around 30–40%. So that will, in future, what I'm trying to get at is in future years, we won't be asking for as much. In fact, probably by 2 years out, we'll just be doing maintenance payments, so that'll be considerably less of an expenditure moving forward because we've been so successful with these prior large rains. So for what it's worth, that'll come down considerably over time. Christensen, that's just a notation on there. I think so we've got the invoice in from Christensen, I think it's, Chris.
Oh, yeah, this is, yes, yeah, okay.
Christensen and some new ones, maybe that's what we use, and she just sent some new ones in, that's 5 minutes ago.
Right.
I think the month reports as opposed to quarter, but I don't know, we need it on film this month. So Christensen's invoice is in right then, so we're in the process of getting that form.
So we received that on 31st of March.
Last communication I had with Jamie from there, sent me we're ready to meet with them, so we can kick the thing off. So I don't know if the whole council wants to get that, and get that full meeting, or if we might just have a couple of us meet with them. This really is strictly budget finance, but we can talk about it. Absolutely.
You said that meeting is set, Christian?
Well, not yet, so we have to decide who we want to meet with them. So essentially, this will be the first blush, we're just gonna get organized, find out what they need from us, and, how we're gonna move forward. We, like as I say, we need to do that with the whole council, and them, or we can, you have to get more than two, we have to, we have just a couple of us, we can, we can do it as the first meeting. So,
If that's appropriate, I would be happy to learn how to do it, and we'll see what it's all about.
just to get started, and then if we need more.
Well, if I count is
I don't think so.
No, it's just,
I think it's only,
two of the five.
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. So I'm not.
Your next three.
Yes, that's one.
so you can be the third shoe, you can be the third wheel.
Yeah, two, the big ones.
Okay, so we'll try to set something up with them. Capital plan, financing, and action plan, we need, we're well down the road on that. There's, for instance, the fire department, fire commission at that site, we're kind of moving forward with what we're doing. I know Tom, just looking at his dump trailer, sending a quote, I think that's going to be on the agenda for Monday. We had some issues at the community center where we had to buy some boilers, so we probably need to revisit that relatively soon, I would say. What do you think, Jim? So maybe some, just to see where we're at with current expenditures and what, we might want to massage that, then what do you think?
Yeah, I think you addressed it for the budgeting process, it's too deep.
Yeah.
So it should be good.
Okay. Any other questions on that?
We discussed those borders in the community center.
Right,
Oh, we did already.
yeah, we had to pay them,
Right.
so we need to adjust it out to somewhere else.
We looked at the possibility of, filling that through the parks, because parks doesn't have a healthy balance sheet, but currently the community center is not on parks. And maybe that would be good to address at some point, because it is a great asset in the town. It would be nice to have a little more money going in that place and get there.
No, we can't. There's a little, like, cigars on the other side.
John, excuse me, I think the mic is on next to you, I don't know, there you go.
Yeah, thanks. Before I forget, let's see, okay. Contract reviews, I know HR is working on health insurance. We talked at one point about moving forward with, maybe another one on the waste removal. Anyway, the sewer project, we decided not to do that this particular year, but maybe so, I'll leave it on the agenda. And if we decide we want to revisit that later, we can. MS4, oh, I'm sorry,
I've been in contact with Lakeshore Recycling, and they will have a bid for us for our waste removal, probably sometime in June. So,
So, as far as MS4 goes, I'm actually meeting at 10:30 today with Reggie, who's the MS4, she's a professor at Northwest, IU Northwest, and she's also very experienced in IDEM, all the requirements that are MS4. It's changed this year, they have a home form that we have to fill out, so it's kind of a little more dramatic than it used to be. As you all, I think you're aware, we signed a contract with them with a 13 and not to exceed 18,000, but essentially almost. So the idea is that she's got the expertise to help us through the process. The LaPorte County is now supposed to be helping us, but they don't quite have their activity yet. So we don't know what they're going to possibly for us. So we'll keep you informed on that. On Memorial Day. This is just a keep it on there. Tim, we can pull this off if you want. I know you these things. There's anything we'll talk about relative to how you're making progress on getting your people and everything else.
So Helen has assumed a pretty substantial role in the county area, and has done a nice job. Deanna continues to do what she does. She's been vocal about some of the tasks that she's charged with that maybe aren't the highest and best use of her time. We have a new part-time employee coming on, Honor, and she is going to help the building department and hopefully take some things up Deanna's plate. And also help Lynn in the water department. So I think between Lynn and water and Deanna will less stuff on the plate because of the additional honor at home, more focused on the accounting. I feel like we're pretty good shape. And of course, Cindy's been super helpful when we all had extended to the training of Civic. Civic has to do some updates to our system that needs to be hopeful. We'll bring in the 4-digit account numbers, but now we have only 3, and it's sort of like the Y2K thing. Everybody's afraid what's going to happen when we have the 4 and we have 2. Hopeful that the Civic update will include 4 digits and won't be a big deal. So I call it K Plus, and because it's kind of an expensive update, it has to be done overnight when nobody else is on the system. So I call it K Plus. They're going to contact Civic and administer the update. So hopefully that will be done early next week. Beyond that, it's just years later.
So Tim, just with that, all guys, so T's, we probably have to put Honor on the agenda for the town council meeting, just so council can sign off on her appointment. I know she's working for you, but since she's also working for the building department, everybody could have another sign. Does everybody agree with that? I don't anticipate any difficulty there, but just, we don't want to have anybody say, didn't follow the protocol.
Sure, thank you. I'm sure that she's back.
training, I think that you address everything relative to you, I'm gonna pull that out, just say, I talked to Balaji area, and she emailed back and forth with him. It'd be nice if we could do an IT session for those of us that are kind of a little slow on the uptake and how that all works. I've kind of done a few workarounds personally, but I think maybe, I don't know, I'm gonna talk about this yet. It'd be nice, I think, if we could have a little training session with IT for those of us that need to kind of get to the next level. I think there's some capacity in that system that we're not able to use right now because we just don't know.
I talked to Balaji this morning about that very topic. He said if the council could send him some dates of availability, he would have Andrew come in during normal working hours. We could do something here in the town hall, and we could either have it up on the screen for you. You could bring your laptops in, go through whatever you'd like, just send me some dates and I'll get them to them. Okay, they are prepared to put that out for you. So he said anytime in the next couple of weeks, it works best for you.
So we kind of consider that opportunity, so that any other unfinished business, you guys. Any new business then? Just. So should we do anything else formally relative to our responsibilities as the art committee?
Again, I'll wait for Cindy's, draft of the resolution, and we'll talk about that Monday night. As far as our committee, I would propose that it's everybody on the budget and finance committee, with the addition of Chief Swizak.
Maybe we should just vote that, just for kicks. Okay, I think we can just let it.
Yeah.
Okay, Borough made a motion, all in favor of making the budget finance committee the art committee, with the inclusion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so that the bit of business is complete, right? That's all I have.
All I have.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. So, Bart, did you have anything you wanted to ask, or hopefully you're on mute right now? Hopefully you can hear me, so Bart, did you have anything you wanted to ask or add? Okay. Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
I have no question. Thanks you, John. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. I think our meeting's already started. I like the fact that you know what this one. I like the fact that we're doing this particular one before stuff into the front lawn.
Right. I agree that we should change the
Yeah, should we try to stay on
I
that?
totally agree with that. And it's what, otherwise we're waiting another 3 weeks
Yeah.
to present anything.
Sure.
So I think it's a good first statement.
Okay.
Jack, you want to change the Zoom, you want me to? The Zoom meeting, because the Zooms are set up, so the Zoom has to be changed. I can certainly do it. What do you want to change it to?
This particular,
Wednesday prior.
yeah,
The Wednesday prior, correct, because the first.
Prior to the town council.
May 19th first. Wednesday prior.
Right.
I'll get that done.
Okay.
Because that's the one problem we have. A lot of times in meetings, we say, yeah, let's do this, but we never try to figure out who's going to be responsible. We had that building commission this last one, and it's like, yeah, we said we're going to do it, but who's responsible for doing it? We need to clarify that. Otherwise, it's not good enough. So I will do this.
Thank you. That should adjourn.
All in favor, aye. All right, thanks, everybody.